Hello everybody, this is Val with
This is how we do it. This is how we
Hey everybody, this is Val. This is how you do it, and we're just enjoying the front porch. Having a couple of drinks. My hand is right in the camera, but there's my beverage. And listening to some music, and I have a phone in my hand. There's the light out there. I just got through working on it. Taking the lights off my bike. There's some of mine I took off and threw on the ground all the way around the edge around here and the bottom. The tape is still sticking to it, as you can see it right there, hopefully. And now I got to go around the bike and get all that white two-sided tape off of it, even though I done pulled the lights off it. Now I got to pull all this off, which is like with the knife like this. It's very tedious work, and try to get it off. This is my trailer. I said bike. Got off my trailer. And you have to work it. Without scratching the paint. Try to get some alcohol or something to help me get the excess off this part right here. Try to clean that off once I get the thickness off of it. But that's what I'm doing right now. Just loaded the zero turn on the trailer so we can go cut the lots tomorrow. So we loading it up today, which is what, baby?
Monday.
Monday. You know the date?
Hold on a minute. March 29th.
We're loading the zero turn up on March 29th to cut the lots on Tuesday, March 30th.
City wrote about it.
Yeah, the city wrote us about it, so we have to make sure the city lots are
Charge $150.
the city lots are cut. They'll charge you $150 for a lot. Their taxes ain't no more than about $10 to $14. So that's the way they take your property. Cause you feel like you get fed up. You say, well, that property went number $10 in taxes, but they charge you $150 to cut the grass.
And you don't pay it, they take it.
And you don't pay it, they take your land. So we're going up there and pay it. Not pay it, but to cut the grass. And you have to keep it cut all summer. And if you get too old to get it cut, you got to pay somebody to cut it, or they end up taking it from you if your family don't cut it for you. That's the way they take our land here.
They take land
everywhere, I guess. I don't know. That's the way they do it here. They take it by you're not cutting the grass. In town, not in the country, but in town. Again, Willie?
I seen them take folks land for $1.
Wow. Sad. But see, the cost of living here is so low that $100 and some, even if you had to pay it in taxes or you had to pay it to cut a grass, that's a lot of money here. It may not seem like a lot of money in other towns because the cost of living is high, and you probably paying $700 to $1,000 in rent. If we paid that kind of money in rent or a house note, we would be homeless. So the cost of living is lower here. Somebody asked me about all this land, and I was saying the cost of living is in Montgomery. You have to go with that because
the property tax is low.
The property tax is low because of the cost of living. If you live somewhere else, then property tax would be higher. Okay. About land, they job wouldn't pay them nothing. That's what they was trying to get around to. Your job up there pay you more money. You move to Alabama trying to get a job and buy some property. You may go in the hole.
Yep. Gotta hook the trail up now.
Oh, you finna hook it up. I done had the
Me
camera
wire
turned
it
to the
up.
ground. Huh?
Wiring it up.
Yeah. That's something I had to learn how to do too, y'all. Had to learn how to put them 2 chains to the truck and hook up the lights to it, and
Safety
then
chain.
the safety chains, and then lock the trailer down with that pin he pushing through it. And then you put a lock on it too, but right now he just screwing it down like that because we're gonna be with it the whole time. We're not gonna let it get out of our sight. And this right here
Is the power.
is the power to it. So
Power
we got
plug.
to put the power plug to this wiring right
And
here,
plug it into the truck.
and then plug it into the truck so we'll have backlights and tail lights and signal lights and all that good stuff. And the reason I wanted to say that on camera was that we'll have a videotaped evidence that we cut the grass before the date that they put down, which is what date they give. Do you remember,
April
baby?
3rd.
April the 3rd. And we're going to have it cut by the 30th. And this video will be uploaded tomorrow on the 30th. So it'll have a YouTube date on it also. All right, y'all. Going in the house now. Me and Willin did to do.
I already did.
He said I did it. Well, I don't want to take all the credit.
We'll back up a little bit.
All right. We're finna bag it up and straighten it up a little bit before we
Don't worry about the straight. They're gonna bag it up away from the gate.
see. It's close to the gate right there. What?
Open the gate. Let me pull out and bag back in the yard.
All right.
Look at that hawk.
What? A hawk? Where that?
That pine tree right there just flew across there.
Oh shoot, that is beautiful. Let me see. Can I make it bigger so they can see it?
You live here.
Willie say he live here. That's it right there, y'all. Y'all see that hawk?
Keep the camera on. He'll probably move when I go to the truck.
Probably move if I get to the gate, right?
Yep.
He moved his head. They saw it.
Okay.
I love watching birds and hawks and eagles, and I don't know if we have eagles here, baby.
No.
We don't have the eagles. I didn't think so. But we do have the hawks. And they will snatch down and get
There you go.
a small animal. Won't they, baby? They'll get a small cat or a small dog and be gone with it. Huh?
Rat or frog?
Rat, frog, will it say? We cut the grass a little. We didn't cut all of it because it's too wet out there, further out there in the front yard. I got the camera. Let me bring it back in. We didn't cut all the way out there because it's too wet. We would have got stuck. But we did get that cut. And here come Willie. He gonna try to straighten the truck up a little bit in the backyard since we got hooked up to the big trailer. So after we go to town and come back, I'm gonna take y'all with us and you can see what we do. Show you those 2 lots we got up there. And my older YouTube family have already seen them. But we have to tape when we cut grass, honey, because we won't tape evidence that it was taken care of. Tape it before and after. We ain't got no problem with cutting the grass. Sometimes it get to be a lot on loading and unloading and all that good stuff. But we manage. Thank the Lord. All right, people. Well, everybody, it's about 8:30 in the morning, March the 30th. Closing our gate. Well, it's really, we're going to get there at 8. It's really like 7:30 in the morning, and we're leaving now. They'll probably be at the lots by 8 o'clock. And there's dew on the ground before we leave. We're at home now, leaving, going to the 2 lots in the town. There's dew still on the ground and on the truck. Okay, baby, let's go. We're on the corner of Jeff Davis and Pleasant Avenue. Let me see, can I get the sign? Right there. Right and then there's intersection right there. Building across the street, Holiness Church. This used to be a church right here. Van sitting in the yard. I'm walking on Pleasant Avenue now. Willie unloading on Pleasant Avenue. This is a lot that we used to own, but the city took it and they haven't cut it. And we own the lot next to it. We finna cut that one, and we own the lot on Jeff Davis. I'll walk up there in a minute. I'm walking off Jeff Davis. This lot right here has been cut. Jeff Davis is the old civil rights route. So, and this is our grass, our property store right here. This is what they say need cutting. Used to be a house here. That's why the steps are there. It's probably stop at that tree. And this is the lot. And it do need cutting. And that's how much it done grown all summer. Said all summer, but I mean all winter. This is a residential and business district. This is Pleasant Avenue. Well, it's cutting on Pleasant Avenue. This used to be a double lot with 2 mansions on it, sort of like that, the old time 2-story southern mansions. And they tore down both houses, and for tearing down the houses, they charged I think it was $30,000, and they took one of the lots for demolition. And we had storage in the house. My mom them had just moved out, and the other house just was a house that we had kept for many years. Nobody never lived in it, but we kept belongings in it. And the lot that Willie is cutting right now is the lot where the second house was in that we didn't live in. We lived in the lot over here, and it was the house tall as that house right there. They had the very, very high ceilings and the cloth bathtubs and the little square little they call it antique stuff that be on the walls, like molding and things like that. Now they call it antique and valuable, but when we were living in it, it was like poverty. But that how times change. Willie has finished a lot. He cut more than we normally cut. We usually used to stop right there in the middle of that tree right there. He went over a little bit more. That made the city have to just cut a little bit of grass. This theirs. There is no paper on the ground because they'll take your property for littering and trash being dumped on it, and you're not keeping it clean. So there's no paper on the lot. And this is Pleasant Avenue, right next to Mr. Johnson's house. This lot is, the taxes to pay for this lot is like $10 in taxes. That lot over there was not more, about the same, but they took it when both of the houses was paid for, and when they demolition one of the houses and you only pay $10 in taxes, and then they charge you $30-some thousand for tearing down one of the houses that look like this. And then living in this state and you don't make that kind of money. My mom was a hairdresser, and by the time they tore down the houses, she was still doing hair off and on in her other house. And my dad was retired, so they couldn't afford to pay $30,000 to keep the property. Let me get a close up on Mr. Johnson's house. That's where our house was, 2-story. Both of them right there. And the lots aren't that big, as you can see there. They can fit. Now you can't. They won't let you build 2 houses that close together, but they can stack them together like sardines. We didn't have any yard. The houses were side by side. Just had this part right here, a driveway between both of them. That was it. With no front yard, no backyard. You come down the steps, you're on the sidewalk. Go in the backyard, the house all the way back to the fence area. Like, we don't cut this no more. We used to cut it out of sympathy from my mom. But when they start saying you need to cut your lot, I said I ain't gonna cut it again, because they wanted to charge and take both lots, saying that 652 was ours. 652 is not ours anymore. And Willie has gone up here on Jeff Davis to start on this lot up here. Let me show you with him up here. This used to be Big Dave Fish Market. It was a black-owned business. Really good fish. Seafood, it was, I mean, it was nothing like it. I used to love to eat his oysters, man. He would fry up them oysters, man. It was so good. Any kind of seafood, he just hooked it up. My mom loved his fish. It's like fried fish. Whole fried fish, of course. Cut it down the middle and make a fish sandwich. There, Willie, that a house on next to the lot. That apartment's over there. And he's cutting the grass. Well, everybody, Willie leaving. I'm standing on the property. We done cut it down, but the tree did fall down. We're gonna come back and pick it up. We'll come back and chop that up. That tree fell right there. But the grass has been cut. There's no paper. That way. young men to help me. I'm sitting on the mow right now, and they picked up that smallest tree, and now we got most of it down. Huh?
You do have to use one of these balls.
Okay, go ahead. All right, y'all. We got it up. I'm going back to the mow. I cut the yard as they get it up. But this how much they got left. They did that for me sitting right here like I was sitting before. Look how much up. Well, there you go, y'all. We're gonna come back with a saw, but we got it done. Thank you, Jesus. Well, people, look at Willie now. Working hard, honey. Yeah.
Got a job done, them.
Yes, we did. And this is Val and Willow with This Is How You Do It. We see all you beautiful people on the next video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that like button, and everything. But child, this thing won't stop now.